For a third straight season, John Beilein and the Michigan Wolverines are headed to the NCAA tournament, this time as a 4 seed to the Palace of Auburn Hills, and they'll open up against South Dakota State on a Thursday. And Coach, congratulations on yet another NCAA tournament. There is a big difference, though, between an NCAA tournament run and a regular season run. How so for you and your staff and your kids?
Well, you know, if you can get into this thing, if you can, and you have to play really well, Matt, and you have to get breaks. It all comes down to a lot of those things. If you're playing well, you still need breaks if you play well. It can be the most exhilarating experience of your life to be able to play, advance again. There's a time where you're going to have to go home, and somebody's going to have to tell you that's the time you want to stay away from. So we just try and say play to win. We're playing to win. We're playing to win, because there's a little bit more drama in every game.
What did your club do, especially over the last month and a half, that lends you to believe they can make an NCAA tournament?
We played in the toughest conference in the country. We have been right there, either beaten or been within an eyelash of beating every team in the conference, including the #1 seed in Indiana. And we're right there. We just got to, make a couple more foul shots, hit a couple more shots here and there, defend just a little bit better. It's very close. If we don't, well, we had a heck of a year. But if we do, this could really be a super way to end our year.
When you've coached young players, and you've had a freshman start for you every year you've been here, when you've coached young players, what do you tell them about what awaits them in the NCAA tournament to make sure that they too will be ready and it's not overwhelming?
You know, the only thing that we end up telling, these are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. You don't know whether you're going to get one of these again. I mean, you look at teams like Iowa that was in an eyelash right now. Right. That all of a sudden Michigan went 11 years without being in one. It does just not come around like another season comes around. Seize it, love it, don't be afraid of it, but go after it.
You always draw well. We saw it in Brooklyn. We saw it in Madison Square Garden earlier this year. You're kind of in your own backyard at Palace. How much will that aid you, do you think?
I hope so. I hope that we'll have a lot of amazing blue there in the audience. I don't know what time we'll play. We'll know probably tomorrow or the next day, but it's wonderful for the travel short. Our crowd will be there, and we're going to go in there and play the best basketball we can play.
What are the key components to a successful team in the NCAA tournament run? A lot of people talk about backcourts. They'll talk about having that go-to guy, having the ability to play defense. What are most important in your mind?
Oh, I think that you go in, you have to take care of the ball. You can't give away easy possessions. You have to make your foul shots. That's always important with it. So valuing the ball, making your foul shots, and then make sure that defensively you're just solid. You make people score over you. You stay in front of people. That's a big thing. So we're really excited about this opportunity to be able to play in this venue, to play at Auburn Hills. But right now, we're going to have to play really good basketball for every game, and hopefully for a long time.
As the week continues, you'll know a little bit more about South Dakota State, but offset, they have a really good point guard. What more can you tell us about a team from the Summit?
I just looked at their stats, and being a guy that back in the day still coaching when we didn't have a lot of videotape, you can tell a lot from their stats. And they shoot the three really well. They get to the foul line a lot and make them. They're a low turnover team, and have senior, junior playing a lot of minutes. So that's what we tell you. That's a scary formula for anybody to play against. I don't care who it would be right now. So if it was a #1 seed playing against them, they would say, wow, this team is very good.
Your team went into a game last year with a similar type resume against Ohio and unfortunately fell short. Do you want your kids to remember how much that hurt, or do you need to even remind them?
No, I think, well, we only have two or three guys that are playing in this game that were part of that game. And so as a result, I think this is all fresh. Go out there, but I do know that in that game, we did not play at our best. We might have got a little bit over anxious when we started missing some shots and pressed. We don't want to do that. We got to play to win.
Coach, good luck. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Matt.
When we come back, a man who's been in the NCAA tournament each of his first 3 seasons in Ann Arbor and is having a career year. Tim Hardaway talks about the difference between the regular season and the postseason when we come back. Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan Health System. Visit us at uofmhealth.org. And by Absol Pure Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a career year, and he was also all Big Ten first team for the first time in his career. Just overall, Are you satisfied with the season you had?
Yeah, I mean, we were satisfied with the season we had. You know, it was a lot of ups and downs towards the end of the season, and a lot of learning experiences that we gained from it. So we're just happy that we made the tournament. We're blessed, and we're just happy to be enjoying this ride.
You're not just a key player on this club, you're a teacher on this team. What do you think is the most valuable lesson you taught your teammates this season?
I think it had to be preparation. Every guy on the team had an adjective or like a word that they were going to bring to the table for the team, and mine was preparation. And I think I did a great job of it, helping the freshmen out on defense or knowing the plays or whatever the case may be. And you know, it was just great just to have that aspect for me and my team.
You've been in the NCAA tournament now 3 consecutive seasons since you've been here. What is the difference between a regular campaign and an NCAA tournament game?
You don't know who you're playing, and you've never played the team before. And you know, it's great just to have that, because really nobody knows how you play or your style of play. And you know, it's a new season, it's a new beginning, and you know, it's great just to have that going on moving forward.
As you go forward, do you reflect more on the key wins like at Illinois, at Minnesota, home win against MSU, home overtime win against a team like Ohio State, or do you reflect on the difficult losses more?
We reflect on the difficult losses more just because it is a way for you to learn, to see what mistakes you made in those games so you don't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. So I think our team did a great job of that going down the stretch, and you know, we just got to keep on doing it.
What will you tell the young guys on this club of what it's like to play in an NCAA tournament game?
You got to take advantage of it. There's no promises coming back here. This could be your first and only time going to an NCAA tournament while you're in college. So you got to make the most of it and just take advantage of it.
How do you feel the conference best prepared this club for an NCAA tournament run?
Prepared us very well. Had ups and downs, like I said before. You know, lost some tough games. So we kind of know what's at stake.
We focus on the Big Ten season, but we need to remind ourselves that you played Kansas State, who's a 4 seed. You played Pittsburgh. They're in the NCAA tournament. You played Arkansas. You played NC State. There's a lot of teams outside the Big Ten who prepared you for this run too, don't you think?
Yeah, most certainly. And those teams did a great job of just competing with us, and being strong, and just bringing the fight out of us, and that really helped us out throughout the whole entire season.
We wish you great success. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, how much of a concern is Michigan's youth, their recent play, and how much did it help them to play in the Big Ten to get ready for the NCAA tournament? The players answer those questions and more right after this. Welcome back. Michigan is the youngest team in the Big Ten. 13th least experienced team in the country. And yet underclassmen account for more than 70% of their playing time and 50% of their production. They seem unfazed, though, with playing in their first NCAA tournament.
I've heard things about, you know, the tournament and how excited it is. And, you know, they've already told some of us freshmen that just go out there and have fun, continue to play the way we've been playing, you know, we'll be okay. So as long as we go out there and have fun and enjoy the moment, soak up the moments, because you never know when you're going to get blessed with this opportunity again.
It's been a learning experience. The whole year, all of us freshmen have done a real good job of adapting to the college game and really listening to what the coaches have to tell us. So at this point, we feel like we're not freshmen anymore. We've been here for over 30 games, and we feel like we're ready to play.
What do you tell your freshmen who you rely so heavily on?
Just take advantage of the opportunity. You know, you're fighting for your lives, so take advantage of the opportunity, because before you know it, it can be over. We're just one play here or one play there. I told them that this was the funnest time I've had, you know, all year was around tournament time, so just don't take it for granted. You know, don't overlook any team. You know, try not to really look into the brackets as much as possible, and just try to take each game by each game, and, you know, focus on, you know, the game that you're about to play. Just stay in the moment, because, you know, it's so easily to get knocked off because everybody is after one goal.
It should help the Wolverines staying close to home. They begin their quest at the Palace of Auburn Hills, roughly 55 miles away from Chrysler Center, and that should help a little bit.
I know our fans will be in there, and you know, we'll have a lot of energy, you know, coming our way. So that definitely helps, and you know, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to going in the, you know, I'm playing in a pro arena, and, you know, in front of all of our family and all of our fans, and, you know, fans that probably haven't seen us play this year that will fly in and things like that. So, like I said, we're looking forward to the opportunity.
I really hope our fans come out in maize and blue and are really loud, because we've been at home this year. We've been really good, and Michigan fans are great, and hopefully it'll be a special experience playing 2 games at Auburn Hills.
But admittedly, the Wolverines have played inconsistently over the past couple of weeks. Still, to battle through the toughness of the Big Ten and the physical style should help prepare them for what they hope will be a long-turning run.
We're going to be playing against some of the best teams in the country, from top to bottom, man. You know, close games, a lot of different styles of play. I think we're pretty much ready to play against anybody.
Definitely helps a lot. You know, like you said, coming in and playing some of the best teams in the country every night. You know, almost everybody in the Big Ten is ranked. So, you know, and that's a good thing for us, and I think that it'll definitely help us with these teams that we're getting ready to play.
When you play in that Big Ten conference, it's a battle every single night, and I think just getting out of that, being able to run our sets more freely, and just playing Michigan basketball, I think people are going to realize that everyone that's written us off, we have a lot more to prove going forward.
Big Ten is, you know, the best conference in the country, and it's the most well-scouted conference in the country. So, you know, we'll have an opportunity to get outside of the conference for a while and, you know, play against some teams that, you know, we're not really as familiar with, and, you know, they're not really as familiar with us. So I think that'll be a positive for this club.
I'm Sarah Van Meter at the William Davidson Player Development Center. Coming up next, I'll have the story on Michigan's Iron Woman. Welcome back to Inside Michigan Basketball. The women's team will find out its NCAA destination on Monday night. The Wolverines have already won 21 games this season, thanks in large part to senior captain Jenny Ryan, Michigan's Iron Woman. No basketball player in school history has played in more games than Jenny. She started in 128 of the 129 games since arriving from Saginaw as Michigan's Miss Basketball in 2009.
I wouldn't trade this experience for anything in the world. And when people said in freshman year that it's going to go by in a blink of an eye, I didn't believe them. But now that I'm standing here with a month left, I can't believe where all the time's gone. But I've loved every minute of it, all the people I've met, all the experiences I've had, from basketball to academics to just friends along the way. It's been an awesome experience at the greatest university in the world, in my opinion.
Ryan is the only player in program history to log more than 4,000 minutes of court time. She ranked second all-time in steals and assists, and she admits wanting to take a charge over nailing a three-point shot.
I think it affects both teams equally. Your team gets the momentum, and then it draws a foul on the other team. It kind of frustrates them a little bit, and it's just one of those plays that you can't help but just get really excited about.
Quite frankly, she's the toughest player on the team.
My brothers are the ones that made me pretty tough. You know, sometimes in my head I get a little too competitive, and so growing up, the only way I could be out there was to be tough, and you know, you hit the driveway a little hard and you couldn't show them that you were hurt or cry because then they would have kicked you out. So I guess in that respect, I think my toughness came from them, but you know, it's a competitive world and it's a competitive game, and I'm probably one of the most competitive people in it. So I think the toughness is driven directly from my competitive nature.
Ryan to Arnold, hand back to Ryan, driving right. Ryan avoids the defender, flips it in, good, and a foul.
On the court and off the court, I'm still a perfectionist, and I'm very intense with my academics, but as far as the outward appearance, I'm way more intense on the court. I tend to be a little bit more laid back off the court, although I still get wound up about a lot of things in life. I think I don't show it as much off the court, and I'm a little bit more fun-loving.
Her brothers both played baseball at Oakland University, but Jenny chose Michigan, and she'll graduate in May as part of a basketball senior class with the most wins in program history.
One day it will be broken, and we'll be happy when that day comes, because that means that this program has taken another step. But for right now, we're happy that it's headed in that right direction.
Jenny and Rachel Sheffer were just selected to participate in the WBCA's So You Want to Be a Coach program, designed for basketball players who have a passion or interest in coaching. The workshop will be held at the Final Four in New Orleans, so the three-year roommates will have one more trip on the road together. I asked Jenny what was one thing Rachel might not know about her.
In my head, I think I'm a better driver than she thinks I am, because we drive together all the time. But that's probably the only thing that I could think of is my driving. Rachel's definitely the better driver, but Rachel thinks I can't drive, but in my head I think I'm a better driver than she gives me credit for sometimes, because she always experiences my whoops moments on the road.
Luckily for Rachel, the two will be flying to New Orleans. Next week, I'll have a report on the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Sarah Van Meter.
All right, Sarah, thanks. Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan Health System. Visit us at uofmhealth.org. And by Absol Pure Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com.
Watch out. They got a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Tynan bringing it in. Sent it across. Then they score.
Welcome back. This year has been one of the more bizarre seasons in recent memory for the Michigan hockey program. They really never found a consistent group during the season, stumbled to a 7th place finish in the CCHA, and no one thought they could get to the Joe.
The Wolverines win that race. A good job by Mike Zummo. There's a chance for Kevin Lynch. He's going in front. He waits to score. Short-handed goal.
But they rolled Northern Michigan in back-to-back games, then stunned Western Michigan in a 2-game sweep in Kalamazoo. Now, the Wolverines are at the Joe in the CCHA Final Four for the 24th straight year.
And Slabowski way out, so now he scores! And they'll bring it in. Here's a pass off now to Luke Moffett in front of the goal. And it came out in front. Now Guptill fires, scores!
I'm really proud of them. I mean, that's what coaching is all about. You know, and I've always said you never give up on a player and you never give up on a team. And I'm glad they never gave up, and I know that I never gave up.
That's unbelievable. I mean, we told you guys about 2 weeks ago to a month ago that we were a team to be reckoned with. That's because everyone in that locker room believed, and people in the circle believed, but you know, everyone else didn't. And you know, we show that you know, we can play as a team, play with passion, and we can overcome adversity anytime throughout the year.
Our team had the momentum from last night, and everything went our way. It was just one of those games that we played well, and we didn't let them play well. We were a good hockey team.
It's a completely different feel of the room right now. Obviously, you can hear them screaming and yelling, so definitely it's an exciting feeling, and hopefully we can keep the things going right now.
The further you go in the playoffs, you know, you got to ramp it up even more, and you're seeing that out of our team, and you know, we're peaking at the right time, and intensity is a huge part of that.
It feels like right now we're on a streak and we can't lose. But we know what's at stake. We know we're going to the Joe next weekend. We have 2 games to finish this off, and we're ready.
I don't think our mindset changes. I think, you know, we're hot right now, but I think we're still the underdog. We'll probably still be one of the lower seeds, so we're going to keep that mindset.
Yeah, I always kind of like the underdog mentality. I think that's what's got us to this point right now. So definitely, I mean, we've been playing pretty well, but I mean, if we don't come out and show up every game, we're not going to win. That's for sure. So we need to keep it going.
I think our stock keeps going up and down like General Motors or General Electric or whatever. But nevertheless, we're getting better. We got a little mojo right now, and we're going to Joe Louis, hopefully to have fun.
Obviously, I think people are scared of us right now. I mean, they know that we've been on a hot streak. We won 8 games in a row, and you know, we're hungry right now. We're hungry for a ring in that CCHA championship. So we're not done yet.
We're not done. We're not done. Now here's a piece of the puzzle to put on the wall there. And I know we've got guys that scored goals, and we got guys that blocked shots, and we got guys that stopped pucks, and we got guys that did a lot of things. But one guy that's kind of an unsung defenseman on this team right now, he's not unsung to us, but maybe unsung to some people, is a guy that missed the first half of the season. And he is back, and we're so excited.
Good luck to Red Berenson, his captain A.J. Triace, and the rest of the Wolverines. If they do win at the Joe and they win the CCHA tournament, that means they advance to the NCAA tournament for an unbelievable 23rd consecutive season. We'll be back here next week for another edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. We'll recap what we hope will be the Wolverines' advancement to the Sweet 16. First, they have to beat South Dakota State Thursday night. Until then, have a great week, everybody, and go Blue.